Christmas Day game schedule in the NBA has been released, and I want to talk to you about what happens at 8 p.m. on ABC in Los Angeles at the Staples Center. It is the Brooklyn Nets against the Los Angeles Lakers. So much star power will be in the building. Jalen, what do you think about this big game between the Nets and the Lakers on Christmas Day?
And shout to the Knicks and the Hawks making Christmas Day games legitimately. And the team in New York who gets to host the home game, the Knickerbockers, and then the other squad with the three superstars takes their show on the road to Los Angeles. The two best big threes we have in the NBA, which could easily be a finals preview. You have Iceberg Slim KD shooting trays from the suburbs, James Harden. Hopefully he's going to return to the form that he had when he first got to the Nets, because he was putting up triple-doubles and balling out of control. And Kyrie Irving, between the legs, behind the back on Christmas Day. Ooh, that's going to be nasty. And then on the other side, you got LeBron James, the king, after his team just got eliminated in the first round. And Anthony Davis, who was injured in the playoffs. And they added Russell Westbrook. If you guys thought Russell Westbrook was intense when he played for other teams, imagine how he's gonna be in front of his family and friends, literally on Christmas Day. Like the intensity that this man is gonna play with is gonna be crazy. And how about the fact, we gotta talk about the past. Let's talk about the past, okay? Let's talk about the past. Didn't LeBron used to play with Kyrie, and Kyrie decided for whatever reason he want to play with LeBron?
Oh, no, he asked for a trade.
Didn't KD once play with Russ?
Yes.
Right, and didn't KD once play with Russ, and he decided to leave and join the Golden State Warriors?
Partly because of Russ.
Didn't Russ and James Harden play together in Houston?
I love the petty.
For a short period of time?
I love the petty.
Each of these guys are going to be on the big stage. This is a supersized version of what reminded me of Shaq's return to LA with the young stud Dwayne Wade to play against the Black Mamba, the late, great Kobe Bryant. I remember the tension. It was in the air. They weren't slapping high fives before the game. This is gonna be terrific for the NBA.
This is gonna be such a huge game because you think about those storylines, like, don't forget, Russ and KD do not always see eye to eye. Remember that all-star game? They're all kind of going back and forth. And Kyrie straight up asked for a trade. Kyrie Irving was like, I don't want to play with LeBron James anymore. Please get me off this basketball team. This is going to be so much fun. And let's not sleep on the environment, Jalen Rose. I know you know the Staples Center well. I know you've been in there. You've seen the front rows. You've seen all the celebrities. And that Christmas Day game in particular is always such a big ticket. The energy in that building is going to be so big. But let me just be negative Jacoby for a second. Just one second. I need everybody healthy. I need everybody healthy. Anthony Davis, I don't care if you don't play until this game. Like, I need everybody healthy. I need all hands on deck for this one. And we always talk about the big three, but Blake Griffin's going to be in the building. Carmelo Anthony's going to be in the building. Like, I'm thinking there's probably like 9 Hall of Famers that are going to be in the building, on the court, in uniform, playing basketball against each other. This is like a crazy, crazy game and a great, look at the whole slate, Jalen.
Just outstanding. And by the way, don't sleep on the defending champion Milwaukee Bucks and Giannis playing against the Celtics, Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. Hopefully, we get to see the Splash Brothers play against Chris Paul and Devin Booker. Like, so many great matchups, so much great talent. I can't wait to Christmas Day.
I can't wait either. You know what? I'm going to the Knicks game. We're going to get out the house. We're going to open up the presents. I'm going to say, everybody put down your toys, take off your pajamas. We're going to Madison Square Garden. Jalen Rose.
Christmas time in Hollis, Queens. Mom cooking chicken and collard greens.
The Lakers have quadrupled down on their veteran commitment.
I like what you did there, family.
They have rumored to be adding Rajon Rondo, and of course they have that veteran future Hall of Famer Carmelo Anthony. Jalen Rose, Do these roster additions, does their offseason make them the best team in the NBA right now?
All I know is this. My former teammate Rob Pelinka running laps around the rest of the league as it relates to putting this roster together.
Really?
Absolutely. I remember coming on this program for days and days and weeks when people were trying to assassinate his character when he got the job. Now all I see is the best team in basketball. You see that? That's the best team in basketball, ladies and gentlemen. They still have LeBron James. They still have Anthony Davis, who will be the difference maker against the Nets or against other teams that like to play small ball. And they added all of those guys. Okay, Malik Monk, 40% three-point shooter. Kendrick Nunn, 40% three-point shooter. Both of those guys are amazing heat check players, okay? That's going to give them their youth. Russell Westbrook averaged
Triple-double.
a triple-double last year, right? Like a triple-double with the Wizards last year. The Lakers, in my opinion, are the clear-cut best team in basketball. If they stay healthy, LeBron James getting another ring this year.
Ooh, I want to see Nets-Lakers finals. I'm done. I need it. I need it. I need it more than anything else in life. I need Nets-Lakers finals so bad. I need it. I need it. I need it. It is time for News That Matters. Jalen, we have some very important news. Michael Jordan's heavily used boxer shorts are going to go on sale. The starting bid is $500. Something tells me that people are going to pay a lot more than that for Jordan's old draws. Jalen Rose, how much are you putting out?
Sometimes I dream that he is me. Now, this is where keeping it fandom goes too far, because there was a day that an individual saw Michael Jordan's draws on the floor and thought to themselves, I'm going to pick these up and I'm going to keep these and I'm going to make money off of these one day. And then there's now going to be another individual to say, I love Michael Jordan so much that I want to buy his dusty underwear. Like, was that the...
So appearing on the $1 Million Worth a Game podcast, Kevin Durant was asked to list his top 5 teammates of all time. So he listed Kyrie, Harden, Steph, Clay, paused, and then said Serge Ibaka. He was immediately challenged about forgetting someone. I'm forgetting someone, Durant asked, after being reminded of Westbrook. He said, oh, expletive, I'm tripping. Russ, yeah, I did forget about Russ. Russ would definitely be in the top 5. I'm glad you called me out on that. Stephen A., was this just an honest mistake by Kate?
No, I don't believe that. And I'm not trying to call Kevin Durant dishonest or anything like that. I'm not trying to attack the brother. I just don't believe him in this particular situation. I don't believe that you forget a Russell Westbrook when you picked Serge Ibaka. Now, if you sat up there and you said Steph, Clay, and Draymond, along with Harden and Kyrie, okay, then that, because you got those two playing with you now, then that makes sense. But to sit up there and to forget Russell Westbrook, but remember Serge Ibaka, stop it. I don't believe that for 1 second. I believe he knew exactly what he was doing. At the end of the day, let's face reality. Kevin Durant was very, very protective. Like the second to last year, he was there with Russell Westbrook. Last year, he was there, he decided to leave. Obviously feeling like he couldn't win a championship without Russell Westbrook, even though he never said so publicly. Certainly a lot of his surrogates and others have said so on his behalf. Many of whom I know personally that told me the same exact thing, Stephen A. You can't get on Kevin Durant when I called it the weakest move that I ever seen by a superstar for him to go to Golden State, and people misconstrued it for trying to say that I didn't think he could play. No, I was saying he is so great. That's why he should not have joined that squad, because they were a bomb squad without him. But in the end, I was called on many occasions by many people at that particular moment in time when they were saying he wasn't going to win the championship with Russell Westbrook. You couldn't win the championship with Russell Westbrook. That's what they were saying. Okay, and then obviously when they played against each other the first time, they went at each other and we saw them talking to each other and all of that other stuff. And KD's grown up and he's just not going to talk about his former teammate that way. We all know that Russell is real. Russell don't have a fake bone in his body. He's going to tell you what he means if he chooses to, and he's going to mean what he says, and that's fine. But nevertheless, Kevin Durant didn't feel he could win with Russell Westbrook. And Russell Westbrook, from the stories that I was told back then, Russell Westbrook has always been a man's man. Kevin Durant came near as a relative kid, wanted to play video games and stuff like that. And, Russell Westbrook paying his own bills. And, I remember one time somebody joked that KD didn't even know where an ATM machine was, for crying out loud. I don't know whether that's true or not. But these are the kind of things that they were saying to draw the distinction between Russell Westbrook, the grown man, and KD, who was the better player, but still considered a kid. And so when you hear stories like that, and then you see how their relationship ultimately ended, there is no question in my mind. And I like that podcast he was on. I've seen those guys before, and I think they do a hell of a job. But I don't give a damn what Kevin Durant said in this particular situation. There is no way in hell that you forgot Russell Westbrook, but remember Serge Ibaka. And Kevin Durant gave it some thought. He thought about it and thought about it. And then obviously when they brought up Russell, Kevin Durant said, I appreciate you calling me out for that. You're right to call me out on that. No way Russ shouldn't have been on the list. Yeah, Russ is on the list. As a matter of fact, I put him ahead of Clay, blah, blah. Well, that's a damn lie, too, because nobody that knows basketball would put Russell Westbrook ahead of Klay Thompson. And Russell Westbrook is going to the Hall of Fame, one of the most athletic point guards to ever play the game. But Klay Thompson, one of the top 5 shooters in the history of basketball, all right, and an elite defender when healthy, and a 3-time champion. No, you're not picking Russell Westbrook ahead of Klay Thompson. So I don't think that's true either.
Hold on. We disagree about a lot with this one. Stephen A. Mm-hmm. KD was asked on the $1 Million Worth of Game podcast, name the top 5 teammates, best teammates you ever played with, 5, right? He said Kyrie, that came right out. Mm-hmm. Then he said James. And he said Steph. Mm-hmm. And he said Clay. And then he thought for a while, he said Ibaka. Right? Now, sounds suspicious. Hold up, where's Westbrook? As soon as they brought it up, he goes, oh, you're right. You're right to call me out on that. I'm glad. And basically saying, because if this passes and no one calls me out on it, now I got to deal with it. It was just an oversight. And then the interesting thing to me was he puts Westbrook 4th. Now, I understand why I put him ahead of Clay. Clay's never been in an MVP conversation. Westbrook has multiple seasons been in an MVP conversation. Clay can shoot in a way, Clay is one of the greatest shooters of all time. Westbrook can't shoot. But Westbrook can do a lot of things that Clay can't do. Like Westbrook at his best, if he wasn't a 5-star player, was 4.5 plus. Clay has never been considered a 5-star player, like an MVP caliber player. So I understand that. What was interesting to me, the news to me, was he put 3 dudes definitely ahead of Westbrook because he said, I put him ahead of Clay 4th. Does that mean, I'd like some clarification, Kyrie is 1, Harden's 2, Steph is 3, according to KD? It's just interesting to know how he's thinking about it. But I could see, to me, the news is Westbrook's 4th. He played with Westbrook in Westbrook's prime, right? He puts Kyrie, Harden, and Steph ahead of him. That's not news that he puts Westbrook, when he was an MVP-level player, ahead of Clay. So that's 1. 2, can I buy that it was just he just overlooked them? I can. Stephen A., I've been asked, present company excluded, right? So I've been asked in the past, who's the best host you've worked with? I'm talking about in a 2-man situation or a 2-person situation where I was the analyst and the other person was the host. And at different times, I might answer Bob Costas, Jim Lampley, or Brian Kenny, right? And they're all great. But at different times, depending how I'm thinking about it, I just may forget to put one of their names on the list, even if I'm ranking them, right? Or if someone said, great hosts at ESPN who I haven't worked with professionally on a show other than doing 7s, I might say Mike Greenberg. That doesn't mean I don't think there are other guys there. It just means that's what comes to mind in that moment. So when KD got called out on it, I know why you're saying it, Stephen A., because he's thinking about it, and then says, Ibaka, what, you overlooked Westbrook? It's possible. It can happen. And judging by his reaction when they called him on it, the way he cleaned it up, I believe it was just an oversight. The news to me was